We have a new Washington Post poll on what voters blame for our problems. It says, how much, if at all, do you blame each of the following for causing dysfunction in the U.S. political system? So at the very top, money in politics. Number one is money in politics. Let's just go down the list here real quick. You guys can see the numbers. I won't repeat the numbers here, but so the biggest cause of dysfunction, number one, money in politics. Number two, wealthy political donors, which is basically the same thing. It's saying the rich controlling money in politics. Then we get people with extreme political views, Donald Trump right underneath that, social media, news media, members of Congress. By the way, the media more disliked than members of Congress, which is amazing because Congress oscillates between a 12% and a 25% approval rating. Then you get political correctness under that, liberal activists, the Republican Party, uncompetitive congressional elections, the Democratic Party, conservative activists, and then the people who really get like none of the blame, Barack Obama and average voters. They're the people who say, no, it's not their fault. So this is a really interesting poll because yet again, the thing that is objectively, empirically proven to be the biggest problem in U.S. politics, it's correctly identified by the people. So the people, it's not like people are dumb and they're just like, yeah, I don't get it, I don't understand. Turns out they get it perfectly fine. They get it 100%. This is people going, yeah, I think the money's the problem. I think the wealthy donors are the problem because it's pay-to-play corruption. So if it's a corporation, if it's a billionaire, what they do is, or if it's a super PAC, they give money, or people, the donors would give money. The super PAC obviously is people giving money to the super PAC, and the super PAC spends on behalf of the candidate. But so it's slightly different situation with each one. But bottom line is, money ends up controlling the politicians' decisions because they're going to represent whoever gives them the money, and it's I scratch your back, you scratch mine. So, there's a reason why you have all these polls that show the American people want action on different issues, and we almost never get action on those issues. 93% of Americans want a universal background check for gun purchases. We couldn't get that passed. We couldn't get it passed after children were slaughtered at Sandy Hook. We couldn't get it passed after, the giant slaughter in Las Vegas, which just happened. They couldn't even do the bump stock ban, which changes a semi-automatic into an automatic weapon. So this is, think about this, man. 80% of Americans want to raise the minimum wage. Couldn't get that through. And you can go down the list. Only 17% of Americans still want to be in Afghanistan. Somehow we're still in Afghanistan. Because they don't give a fuck about you. They're not representing you. They're representing their goddamn donors. And the American people are correctly identifying that problem. So guess what? If you get the money out of the system and you have what's called clean elections, and by the way, this isn't some pie-in-the-sky, unicorn, far-left, fairy dust idea. Clean elections is something that's been a topic of conversation among political scientists for decades. They go, yeah, if you have clean elections, publicly financed elections, no private money in the elections, then the politicians are going to represent the people who gave them the money. Who gave them the money? The people, the public. So that's the way you fix this. No representing big private donors, because there are no big private donors. That's banned. It's public funding of the elections. So that's the solution. That's the answer. And by the way, in the meantime, because we don't have that, we have a wildly corrupt system. What are we doing? Well, Justice Democrats, we're running candidates. We're primary and corporate Democrats, and we're running against Republicans. So we're trying to get the right people elected everywhere. And the idea is, we're not going to participate in the corruption. We are not going to take corporate PAC money. Why would we do that? Because if you do that, then you are beholden to the corporations, you are beholden to the wealthy donors. So we want to raise in small amounts from regular people, and that makes it so that our politicians know, hey man, who put you in this position? The people put you in this position. What do the people want? They want Medicare for all. They want free college. They want a living wage. They want to end the wars. They want to end the drug war and legalize marijuana. They want a new deal to get job creation around the U.S. So when the incentive structure is right, the politicians will react right. And that's what we're trying to do with Justice Democrats. By the way, justicedemocrats.com/fight. And, you know, it really is something that if 65% of Americans say a lot of the blame goes to money in politics and wealthy political donors, it's just a matter of us getting out there and connecting the dots and showing everybody what's up. Because then when they're presented with the option to defeat this system and reform this system, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. So let's keep fighting, let's keep moving forward, and let's be bolstered and energized by the fact that people really get it. They really do get it. Now it's just a matter of time, and it's a matter of work for us to take the ball and run it into the end zone.